And let me tell you the temperature. Galen has complimented me so many times on how well I do the weather. So when somebody compliments you on something, you want to button your top button a little bit and comb your hair.
And then you get nervous to see if you can deliver the next time.
You're not sure. Yeah, absolutely. You're not sure that you can do it as good as they expect you to do. So I'm going to do the weather right now because I'm good at this.
Yes, you are.
I get accolades quite frequently. Regarding my weather delivery, 72 degrees right now. They say take a little pause after you say the temperature. And then temperature is climbing to 82 degrees right now.
Okay, I like the pause. That's very effective.
I put Galen's mic up so he can be heard. Let's see, there's a chance it might rain today, a 55% chance. Tomorrow, however, during Friday Night Football, with Galen Unold, who does play-by-play. Tomorrow, Galen's special guest color announcer, Matt Wilkerson from Verizon Wireless.
Exactly. That is nice.
Galen, your mic is on. Good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Good. I got a new phone from Matt.
when I hear weather, that's exactly what I expect. I expect that dramatic pause. And the reason is, and again, I used to have when I worked in Jacksonville. At a TV station, one of my really good friends was he was an up and coming weather guy, and so we would go out and have a beer and we would practice, like doing things, and he would, I would like if I saw something on the screen, I would like call the game or something, and he would be over there practicing the weather, and he goes, and today it's 72 degrees, and then he would say, is it a cool 72 degrees? Is it a crisp 72 degrees? Is it a clear 70? And so he tried to come up with all these adjectives of how to describe 72 degrees. It was something. I mean, it was something. So, but yeah, weather guys. It's amazing how they can make it so dramatic from one day to the next.
So, I kind of like the idea of thinking of adjectives, but why didn't he say things like comical? I mean, why stick with the normal adjectives? Why can't you say...
And I'll tell you, because people take their weather extremely serious.
It's a comical 72 degrees.
But you can't, because they're like, oh my gosh, this guy's not taking the weather seriously. And you get some of these people who, you mess around with the weather... You might as well mess around with their best friend's dog. I mean, it's personal.
Exotic is a good word.
I'm floored by it. I'm absolutely floored by it. There's nothing comical about it. I mean, you can make fun of like planes falling out of the sky before you can do that. With
it's comical.
Fly too low. That guy, that whole thing. If he was to do that with the weather, he'd never have a job again.
So listen to this. Okay, this is not me. This is AccuWeather.com. They show you the percentage chance of rain for Friday, right? Mm-hmm. For every day, but I'm looking at Friday. It goes up and down. It starts out with 3 a.m. Friday morning, 31%. It goes up and down. Then by 3 p.m., 43%. By 6 p.m., 35%. And by 7 p.m., Galen. What time's the game start?
7.
By 7 p.m., it's 10% chance of rain. And then it stays that low until about 9 p.m. when it goes back up to 24%. So, and I have to tell you, God might have done this because Robin asked him to.
I know. I didn't want the high schools not to have football, and I didn't want to not to play at First Friday.
So you'll be doing the game with Matt Wilkerson from Verizon Wireless.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Yeah.
And when you said the game starts at 7, is that the game or the pregame show?
The game. Pregame starts at 6:30.
6:30, okay.
Pregame show is Galen Unold and Matt Wilkerson.
Okay.
Talking about sports. I think so far the guys you've been working with have been pretty good. I think the
three of the four. Three of the four have been good.
Who wasn't good?
He's not saying.
Which one wasn't good?
Oh, I mean, I can't remember his name.
All right, the gentleman.
I really can't. Yeah, I'm I'm horrible at something.
Now, Dwayne last week, the guy, they're all from the fight school, aren't they? Is that the commonality?
Yeah. I mean, Dan's got one source of people for everything.
Well, Dwayne.
I mean, no matter what I say, hey, do you know a guy? Well, there's this guy at the flight school. Like, okay.
Well, Adam was one. There was Adam.
Adam was great.
Adam was the best. The issue I had with Dwayne last week was he got there, middle of the second quarter.
But that was not his fault.
And,
He didn't know where you were.
No, not at all. No, I'm not blaming him at all. He got lost, and we moved, and his phone died.
But can I tell you what it sounded like on my end? It sounded like he was just being really, really polite at first, and then during the break, I had people can't hear this, but I could hear it. You were telling him you could go ahead and talk. He wasn't sure when or if to talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think you kind of helped him out with that, and once you gave him the go ahead, it was really good.
Yeah, and again, I had never met him, and so we had like a brief phone conversation before the game. And you got to realize it's pouring rain, and we have these notes of the rosters and things, so you could see the player and be able to say who tackled it instead of just number 96 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you could not see the numbers.
Oh no!
You couldn't see the players, and so it became let's just get through this kind of a thing. And then we had the audio difficulty that we kind of battled through, that we could not figure out what that was for. And I'm pretty sure it was the coaches standing on our gear line.
Did you hear it though? Were you able to hear it?
It was brutal. It was brutal.
And it sounded bad on the air too. So you heard that I put music over some of those dead spots, right? I was just doing my best to try.
Well, and because it would come back and I'm like, there's that music? Yeah, it was fine.
There was a part two where you wanted to talk to me when I think, was it last week, a couple weeks ago, you wanted to talk to me, and I was there talking to you, but you couldn't hear me.
That was 2 weeks ago, because I was here for that one 2 weeks ago.
That was so frustrating.
That was really so. Yeah. That was the Skype day.
But it's it's a work in progress, and unfortunately it ends. The season doesn't go very long. That's the crazy thing.
Well, we got 4 more games.
See, that's not very
much.
And
the playoffs.
That's not very much.
Mm-hmm.
So I have what I have for you is some talking points between you and your color guard.
Color guard,
whatever you call the guy, just
color commentator.
Color guy.
It's like me calling the bass player, whatever. Like that guy.
that guy that's playing the tall thing in the back.
No, I like when they call him the bass players. He's not a bass player.
Oh yeah.
He could be.
There's not a 4-string bass fish. Somebody should make one though.
There you go. I'm sure that's out there. That'll be there out for Christmas. A bass-shaped bass
the striper bass that has 4 lines on it.
And something I want to tell both of you is that I had a nice email from somebody who enjoys when we are kind of fluctuating between serious and silly, because it gives us a break from the serious.
Wasn't really that nice of that person.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. I guess it was something we said. I don't know what we might have said. That was silly.
Nice.
All right, so I have some questions for you to ask your color commentator to kind of get to know him better, or her. Is there any week that you don't have a person? Because we could put the word out. One of our listeners might want to do color commentary with you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, I don't have a problem with doing that. I mean, if somebody wants to do it, they just got to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, I really don't.
All right, the phone is ringing.
Hold on. When they're coming on.
Hold on. Yeah. The phone is ringing. Let's see if we have somebody. Good morning. You're on the air.
I'd love to do it, but I don't think I'd be very good at it.
Oh, you'd be great.
Just eat the bratwurst and the hot dogs.
Oh, that's perfect. That'd be perfect. Are you kidding?
You know what? I'd take it.
He would do it. Hey, you might be doing color commentary.
Commentate with Galen. We'll have a contest.
Can I talk with my mouth full of a hot dog?
Galen, what's the rules on that?
No.
Yes, he said yes.
No.
No.
I got a quick question for Galen. Galen, your announcing booth is probably on the 50-yard line, right? And when the plays get way down towards the end zone, how can you really tell what's going on? Do you use like binoculars?
Good question.
How do you know what's going on, Galen?
Morning.
By the time they get to that point in the field, you've kind of established who's going to get the ball. I mean, it's actually easier because you can read the numbers on their back. So, yeah, that's not a problem. You miss some of the holes. You may miss who made the tackle if they tackle them from the far side. But it actually gets easier down there, believe it or not. I know that sounds like weird.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's hard to imagine. It'd be easier being away like that. Are those football fields pretty well lit up?
Are they lit?
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially,
I would imagine some are better than others, right?
Especially in the daytime.
Sure.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Hugh. I don't know if I was breaking.
yeah.
I don't know if he was breaking up or not. One question I had for you, Galen. Actually, when you're doing the play-by-play, are you ever acting, or are you really that excited? We won't tell.
Question.
We won't.
No, there are times when, you're like, I just want to get through this. I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the most part, I really enjoy what I do. And I hope it shows. But yeah, most of the time.
The one
Well,
game.
you're always genuine.
I have interviewed players after the game and go, oh my God, I got to get off the air with this guy as soon as possible. He's talking. Like, oh goodness gracious. Yeah, that has happened.
The one game.
Not normal.
I think the first game, which lasted forever, I could hear it in your voice. You were like, "Oh gosh, when is this going to end?" Do you remember the first one?
Well, it was against Bellevue, because what happened was it became a blowout pretty quick.
Right.
It wasn't
right.
a quick blowout, but the whole second half. And then we had penalty after penalty after penalty, and bad call after bad call after bad call. And the refs took over that game, and then we had an injury that took forever. And so at that point, you're like, let's just go home. And it wasn't competitive at that point either. And so it can get a little, and you could tell there's no interest in this game. It's hard to create interest. My color guy didn't offer anything for it with me. And that made it was a really difficult broadcast for me.
It's hard when it's all on your shoulders and you're expecting, your partner to be there.
Yeah, and you're like, I literally had to say, so what do you think? And that just sounds, that's not what you do in a conversation.
No.
You know what I mean? If the two of us are having a conversation and you guys are listening to the conversation, there's nothing worse than, how did that make you feel?
Well,
that's not real life.
That's perfect lead into what my topic is with you today. Some questions that you might want to use to stimulate conversation during the off times during the broadcast. But I don't want to be unfair to our listeners. We have somebody else calling in. Let's take that call first. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Robert and Galen.
Hey, Doug.
Doug. I'll be very interested.
You want to do You want to do color with Galen?
Of course, I would.
All right. I think you got another taker.
Yeah, we'll put your hat in the ring.
There you go.
Can you have Can you have two color guys? Is that possible?
You can, but it just
This
makes things more difficult.
All right.
We're writing down everybody's
Well, thank you,
name.
Doug. Thank you for volunteering there. All right, so here's some questions. Just you have a lull, you don't want to take away from the game itself, but maybe it's during when they're in the huddle or something. You say to your color guy, "Hey, Adam, what's the most expensive thing you've ever stolen?"
Hey, in the middle of a blowout, I'd have done it. Sure, at Bellevue, I'd have done it.
How about this one? Any embarrassing pictures on your phone?
Yeah. I don't know I wonder if anybody's ever used these.
How about this one? What is the most childish thing you still do? Mm-hmm. What's the most childish thing you still do?
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Have you seen that hottie in the third row? Does that come up too?
That comes up when I'm doing color.
Oh, okay.
Hey, let's be very clear. There's more than one guy. You say it out loud. If it's just you, you just notice.
Oh, there you go.
You know what was funny? You were doing it when,
depending on who the guy is, depending on your relationship with him. But yeah,
you were doing the play-by-play one time, and you said, "I'm so distracted by those cheerleaders. It's the jumping. They keep jumping."
I love that. That's
it was
honesty.
true. They were literally right in front of me, and I'm sorry, when you see something flying through the air, your eye's going to go to the flying through the air.
But you have,
and I'm like, I know that sounds kind of creepy, but I didn't intend it to.
No. It didn't sound creepy. What it sounded was like you were trying to give some details so that we wouldn't get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm distracted by these cheerleaders because they're flying.
Yeah.
There was a dramatic pause right there where you thought to yourself, "Wait a minute, that didn't sound good." Let me.
That exactly what happened. I remember that very clearly. Oh, wait, I better fix that. I'll get fired from the radio and my job. I better fix that quickly.
Right.
So if I was the color guy and I said to you, like, there's a tackle, and I said, gosh, that was awfully mean. I bet you that guy didn't deserve that. I mean, what would you say? I mean, would you say no? So
Well, you did say that. I think
I did say
at our game last year, and I was like, well, the game of football is physical, and you don't have to play it. It's not a rule; it's an option.
That's right. Expect the worst when you play sports.
But see, that could lead to the question: have you ever done something mean to somebody who didn't deserve it, like that guy just did on the football field? Have you ever done this?
Wow,
I've never done this. I can't imagine tackling
that's
somebody.
a potential question.
I can't. I can't. I mean, if I walked through the mall and just said, I'm going to tackle this guy, boom!
Yeah, you'd be in jail.
You go to jail. I mean, you'd be explaining that to a judge.
Exactly. And there they out on the field just doing it, and everybody's cheering them.
Right, exactly.
Well, and that's interesting. There was a guy who took a really cheap shot in hockey and broke this guy's jaw, and they pressed charges against him for
Why?
assault.
The cheap shot.
No.
I
didn't ask the whole question. Why in hockey is it always so much more horrible? What is it with that game?
Because it's much more close quarters. There's fewer players, and there's more interactions between fewer players. And in hockey, it's almost like a badge of honor if you can fight. Whereas in football, if you fight, you won't play. If you cost the team 15 yards in football, you will not play. And that starts at a very, very young age. Whereas hockey, you're taught you have to constantly challenge your toughness and everything else. So,
let's do business. How's the blood supply right now?
Well, we're okay. We just need people to continue to get out there and give to life and donate blood. And here we are. We're getting closer to Halloween, which is the holiday for every blood banker.
Yeah,
so it's just a great day.
Did you hear that there was?
We just need people to get out there and give to life and donate blood.
Galen, did you hear that there's a girl from the University of Florida studying to become a criminal attorney? I think.
Yeah.
And she was hit by one of the bullets in
Oh, really?
Vegas. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, her last name is her last name is
I forgot.
I have it here, Babick. And I wondered if maybe she was related. Who was Steve Babick? Was he a color guy on the Gators?
He was a producer. He was the producer
right.
And sometimes color guard.
Right. He went to jail, didn't he?
Yeah, Galen saying color guard.
Yeah.
Didn't he go to jail for something?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what he went to jail for.
I know what he went to jail for, but I don't know if it's fair for me to say. Should I say?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, yeah, I think Robin just did.
I just did.
Oh, you did. Sorry. I didn't hear it.
Child porn.
I think it's probably spelled differently.
Oh, is it? Okay. But anyway, so she, not to connect the two or the violation of the law, but anyway, her name is Kristen. I found it. Kristen Babick. She got shot in the back. She thought a paintball hit her. She didn't even know she was shot. Oh. And then her friend said, let's get out of here. Somebody's shooting. And then she feels her lungs, she's having a hard time breathing. And fortunately, the bullet did not paralyze her, but it could have.
It could have hit the spine, right?
Right. And the way the report reads, it sounds to me like the bullet is still in her back. I don't know if they can pull it out or not. Centimeters from her spine.
I'll tell you what, the security guard who got there first, and he saved countless lives. He didn't have a weapon, didn't have anything, and at least disrupted the shooter enough so that he could, stop killing people.
Is that right? I didn't hear that story. You mean he was in the hotel?
Oh, you didn't hear about the security guard? He was the first guy there. He was there within
he was in the hotel?
10 minutes of the shooting. Yeah, he was inside the hotel.
Did the guy shoot him?
And then got shot through the door.
And
he got shot in the leg through the door.
Did he die?
And then he went through the rooms. No, he's alive. He went to the rooms and got people out.
Wow.
And then stayed there until the police got there. And then by that point, they think the gunman had already killed himself, and then he was forced off the scene because the cops like, "You're shot. You need to get out of here." And then the SWAT team came.
But he saved.
He saved countless lives.
Wow.
Because that guy could have kept shooting for another 15 minutes. Until the cops arrived. Because I know there's reports about they thought they knew where he was, but it wasn't that clear. You can imagine the mayhem going on. And if you've ever looked at a superstructure like that from outside, it's nearly impossible to tell what floor is what.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right,
you could see the window open, but it doesn't mean you can make sense as to what floor it's on.
Right, yeah.
And pretty brave guy there, and again, he saved countless lives with nothing but a baton.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Wow.
So, and the job you do to save lives is every day too. I mean, it's done. It's just as viable to say when somebody donates blood, they're saving lives. Mm-hmm. It's just as important.
Yeah, and we were talking about this yesterday in the office. It's like, people always say, "Oh yeah, you guys save lives," and I'm like, the difference is we don't put our life on the line to do it. We are a facilitator for people who donate blood, but we our first responders put their lives on the line every day.
Yes, absolutely. Well said.
So that's a big difference, and that's the definition of a hero: is when you put your own life at risk to save save someone else. That's why I don't consider myself a hero.
But here's the part to that. Another part: a first responder who himself or herself becomes a victim might not survive if it were not for blood donors.
Agreed. Oh, I completely agree with that.
So that the hero you just talked about probably had to have some blood. So this young this young girl up in Gainesville, she obviously had to have blood. She was shot in the back, and she was bleeding as she's running away.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah!
Holy mackerel!
Crazy!
Wow!
Crazy!
It's horrible.
All right, we'll just do the ads last. So where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, the Bloodmobile is at the IRS. We're at the Department of Child Revenue. So, yeah, isn't that exciting?
Yeah, the IRS tries to get blood from people, and now the people are getting them back and trying to get blood from the IRS. So the IRS employees, all of you, go out there and donate.
There you go. And they do. They're fantastic.
Wonderful.
The important thing that needs to be mentioned, and I say this as sincerely as is necessary. It's possible, whatever. Palm Garden of Ocala, we couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much, and thank you for the work you do to save lives and to extend lives and to extend quality of life.
Yeah.
The quality of life, the social life, the what do you call it? The culture, the lifestyle at Palm Garden of Ocala. It's not a nursing home. It is a beautiful facility, and these people really have a great opportunity to have a fresh breath of air at the end days of their lives. Or a lot of people there just for rehabilitation. They're not necessarily in their last days. The two keywords for Palm Garden are skilled nursing. Go take a tour, 2700 Southwest 34th Street. And thank you also, Penn Flooring. You guys have done us well. You put some beautiful flooring in WOCA, and they can do the same thing for anybody. So go check out their showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala. All right, so tomorrow it's football.
Yeah.
And thank you, Galen, for mentioning all the businesses and the schools that the Bloodmobile is at. I mean, gosh, you got the IRS, you've got all of the Marion County public high schools, you've got all of the private businesses here in town, a lot of the government agencies. You go everywhere, and all of the employees step up to the plate. I might joke about it, but I sure appreciate everyone who donates blood. I mean, you guys are phenomenal.
I have one silly news item I want to tell you about. I can't wait to tell you this one. I should have told it earlier. There's a story in the news. Robin will read it in just a little bit. It's a naked guy in Wyoming, right? Who said he was naked because in the year 2048, nobody wears clothes. And they say, well, this is 2017. He says, I know it is. I came back here to tell you aliens are going to be attacking in about a year. They say, why are you naked?
Why would you need clothes? If there's aliens...
Yeah, in 2048...
What's the point of clothes?
2048, Levi Strauss goes out of business.
No more button-down flies.
And no flies at all. All right. All All right, Galen, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Be careful out there. Thank you for what you do.
Hey, sounds great. Hey, thank you guys for everything.
We'll be right
Bye.
back.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. The Las Vegas gunman's motives still unknown as authorities try to piece together his final days. His girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, who is cooperating with authorities, saying she had no warning of the attack.
When he sent her off to the Philippines with what he described as a cheap ticket to go home and visit your family, and then wired her $100,000 to buy a house for her family, she thought that was his way of breaking up with her.
Fox's Jeff Flock. A new AAA study says some new cars are packed with distracting technology.
University of Utah professor David Strayer has been examining the impact of infotainment systems on safety since 2013. Strayer says the explosion of technology has made things worse. Infotainment options now allow drivers to use social media, email, and text while behind the wheel, and it's becoming more complicated to use.
Fox's Tom Rigotti. Fox News. We report. You decide.
Getting your flu shot at Walgreens is easier than ever. Just walk right in, and there's no cost to you with a $0 copay with most insurance. Plus, when you get a flu shot, you help provide a life-saving vaccine to a child in need through the UN Foundation. Swing by your local Walgreens anytime to get a flu shot and help make a difference. Get a shot, give a shot. It's that easy. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Through August 31st, 2018, for every immunization given, Walgreens will donate 22 cents up to $2 million. Vaccine restrictions apply. Talk to your pharmacist to learn more.
Yo, everybody get up! Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group, just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost the sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Hello, gorgeous. Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. It's time to get that new look started. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon, 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview